All right. Welcome to the All Things CTF Podcast revival, home of the nerdiest CTF fans in existence.
Hi,
So
it's me. You already know. The
My-
baller.
yeah,
Young
Nice.
Pokey baller, I just leveled up.
My name's
nice.
my name's Bethany. You may know me as Bethesda or previously known as Brett937. I played in League Season 1 on the Aliens and League Season 3 on the Knights.
See?
Whichever one of you wants to go next.
See?
All right, my name is Seab. Play for Luminous back-to-back seasons, and yeah,
What seasons?
bro.
Season
Season
0?
2, season 3.
You know me, I'm the only Air. I play season 3 on the nights. I'm still playing. Well, y'all think I'm still playing, but season ended a while back. But I'm in the semis right now,
Yep, that's
according to y'all.
actually the most recent game that's happened since
Wow.
the
Game
recording of
one.
this. Game 1 of semifinals, I almost said Aliens. Knights at the Bloxers on
Yeah.
Mall.
We lost in overtime 2-1 if you did not know.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
I watched that live with everybody. Air was there. She was in the freezing cold. Seab has
Bro,
not.
it was raining.
Seab has not seen this game yet.
I have actually.
NPC.
I have.
NPC.
I have.
Nice.
I have.
Okay,
I have.
really?
Nice.
Yeah, we just wanted to bring back the podcast because I was finally bringing back the All Things CTF channel, and I had some friends that wanted to do it with me, and this is something I wanted to do, or wanted to revive a little bit, and hopefully we can maybe eventually get guests on here for future episodes to do some interviews and stuff.
Yeah, if you're like, if you have experiences, if you want to just talk CTF with us, if you're a nerd, then come on, bro. Like, this is like the home for you.
Yeah, where like we would ask you a bunch of questions about your experience with the game, stuff that involves you in CTF history, or what you've been up to, basically. It doesn't even have to be CTF related. You could
That's
just
questions,
be
bro.
yeah. Like we could just this entire podcast is just for nerding, basically, just talking
Exactly.
about CTF.
Seeb, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, you're a nerd. I'm just saying here.
You're here with me.
I think you play CTF more than the rest of us, Steve.
Exactly. You play the game more. We just know more than the game.
I've never played CTF. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I
me.
don't even know what that is.
Never in your life.
What's that stand for? Cold deep fried.
Capture,
Cult
capture the fried chicken, bro.
Capture the fried chicken.
Yes.
Capture the
Chicken that's fried.
oh, that's actually a good one. Wait, that's what CTF
Please.
stands for, chicken that's fried.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Bloxers Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching that game, Air, we saw you in that game. It was definitely an impressive first Mall game, because Mall is not the map that is nicest to newer players, I'd say.
Yeah, me personally, I had experience on Mall before. I was training lots and lots before this game. Me, HT and I were like, we were both like coming off of a round 1 win. We're nervous out our minds because this guy, he's never made it past round 1. He's been swept both times. I myself, this is my first time ever. Just there's so much nerves on us that I feel like that was the main reason why we like kind of fell apart in this game. We still did good overall because like I think I'm not gonna diss my own teammate. I think we both had like pretty mediocre games. I think we both could have done better, but
It was very impressive to get that last second capture, though. That's kind of like,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was.
that's like a Mall signature thing, getting that last second capture. But the Blockers have been really good at shutting that down this season so far.
yeah, in the moment it was like I need this to happen. I need this for my team, and I've been fighting with my soul for the Knights like the whole game, the whole fucking season, and I've had to do that on countless occasions. I'm not gonna fall when I'm in that situation. I know what to do, and I feel like if I were able to, if I could play that again, I think I would do it again. It's like that entire capture, it was good, but then the overtime, we kind of fell apart because after playing 5 minutes against probably the best team in the league, I feel like I had nerves at an all-time high already, and HT was like, he was more nervous than me. So like in overtime, we you could see like I had 0 kills, he had 1 kill, and they were just like, they had a clean run to the flag. We could not do anything about it because I was shaky, he was shaky. It was just like, it's too much. We weren't used to it. Like none of us had ever been there.
That's the difference of having a really good duo that knows their home map way too well. It's like before the season, everybody was like, I think it was pretty common to say that the Blocksters had probably the most stacked team, even though they didn't perform in seed season that way, but in the tournament they really stepped it up a notch for sure.
I think that's what everyone was really expecting because they had depth. They have crazy depth. Some teams have they're not the only teams with crazy depth. They got the Illuminas have good depth, the Firebirds have good depth, and the Aces have good depth. I'd say
low key, and the aliens too.
Yeah, I'd say so, but I feel like the end of that, the last two are just like, I wouldn't say it's like very, very. I wouldn't say you could play any two of their players and they have a chance of winning a game.
That was the argument I was making at the beginning of the season. It was like, I feel like any combination of players with them would be good enough to try to win a game.
Yeah.
The Blocksters so far this tournament, they've just kind of looked unstoppable, really.
They swept round 1.
Yeah, they took down the not really defending champions as a team, but Dr. Trexo and Rustlin Sal on the aliens. They swept them, stopped them from getting anywhere even. No captures from the aliens, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I think in game 2 they had a capture. I'm pretty sure
but then they lost in overtime.
Yeah, they lost in overtime.
Yeah, but it was just like domination from the Boxers, to be honest.
Yeah, they know Maul way too well, man. That map is once you figure it out, it's like you can't be stopped. It's such a difficult map.
Especially when other people don't know it.
Yeah, lots of patience and lots of very like a lot of baiting is what I would like to say is what that map is. You have to bait your opponent a lot.
Yeah, and holding. You have to hold. You have to make sure you have the center position just locked down. That basically just secures you like full control of the game if you have the center locked down. But that's for every map. But the thing with Maul, it has like the center of the map is just very defined and there's very good coverage in the center. So I feel like it's one of those maps where it's very easy to get cover, like very easy to hold middle if you just get like 2 kills. If you somehow sorry, I'm gonna be stuttering throughout the whole thing. So
no, don't worry.
So there's like if you get 2, there's a 2v2, right? So duh. Sorry. Here we go. So your team. So let's say nice Blocksters. We have Blocksters. They kill both me and HT, but KK also dies. Vinksy can just hold there. He can just stand there and wait for KK to come back because realistically KK is not gonna die. He's maybe like a half shot unless they get like that one shot where you just shoot them from across the map and they get killed.
That's the glory shot. Yeah, everybody hates those in public lobbies, but never in a tournament. I swear.
Yeah, probably because they're nervous.
Oh yeah, nerves play such a huge role in the tournament. Even in seed season, even though those games aren't. Well, I guess now they are more important, but they used to be not as important.
Because like it's basically you get to play tournament no matter what. Like even if you get 9th seed or 8th seed, you still play a series. But it would be better to just play one less series. I wish my nice team could have gone further, but like in the seed season. But I can't say I'm unhappy because we're where we're at. Where we're at right now. And
beat expectations.
that's really all that
for
matters.
Sure.
Yeah. And like season just like more important now because of the home advantage.
Yeah,
How will you know you
home
won?
advantage and the wild card, getting on wild card. Gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like being a wild card is just like, oh no.
it's
Like it can help you
it's a
a
nightmare.
little bit.
Yeah.
It kind of feels embarrassing to be in wild card. Like I felt kind of embarrassed to be in wild card. I felt embarrassed to be the 9th seed my first season, man.
I
Like,
felt that way
was
too
a little
because
out of your
like I
control.
was like 6th seed in my first season. Like it was alright, but like we could have done better because like we collapsed in the end.
Yeah, well,
Sure.
well that was the issue of having to play people 2 times. Like you got to get those games done really early. That's kind of that's how it felt like the Aces took advantage of that. They got a lot of their lower round players to play games like super early in the season, and even then they won those games. So it didn't cost them anything. Like having that depth helps you out like so much more than you can imagine.
Yeah, and they went on to go like on a 5-win streak.
That's what the Illuminators did this
wild.
season. That literally like right away they had the rounds 3 and 4 play like almost all their games immediately by like week 3, and they were well over a positive record, and they just kept soaring from there and didn't fall
I don't
off.
think we would have done that if I wasn't suspended. We probably wouldn't have done that, to be honest.
Well, you being suspended seemed like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
that's true.
that is that's kind of funny to think about. Like, Seab couldn't play the first 2 games of the season, and everybody on the team was just like, relax. It's fun. Like you guys got a win and an overtime loss, and then you came back, played with Mounds.
Yeah,
got
3 points.
That was
everything
3 points without your round
went
1.
just fine.
That really was the plan, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got like everything out the way. You only had to play Mops once for the rest of the season. You could have just played your duo the whole time.
And
That's what
Mops
you did.
was even bad. Mops was even bad in the game he
Mops
played.
improved heavily throughout the season.
Mhm.
Like before this
Yeah.
before the season, he was very unknown, and then he showed up for his games that he was in, and it was a nice surprise to see. It felt like that for almost all of the newcomers this season. Every new player was like exceptionally good this season.
Yeah.
I'd say so, yeah. I say Crusader's like the most obvious example. Like that guy, he came into the league being the best player on his team. It was almost apparent. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
like he had 2 like the start of his career, he was and then after week 3, he just went crazy. He just went he's going 23, 18, 18, 15. Like he had the most points in back-to-back weeks.
Okay, well, for those that don't know, we kind of have our own stats spreadsheet that we indicate points per player, and Crusader knocked it out of the park. They're remaining like 70% of the season, so it's just a nice way of knowing how everybody's doing, I guess. And it feels like it's not something that we need to show to everybody like it's law or anything, because if somebody who is incredibly good has an off week, that doesn't mean that they're suddenly terrible. That just means that they didn't have the best game. They're probably always going to still be as good as we know they are.
Mm-hmm. If you want to know how the points are calculated, it's just so a capture from yourself is 2 points, but to capture from your teammate is 1 point, and a kill is worth 1 point, and a win is what is it?
4 points.
It's 4 points?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if the game goes to overtime, and then regardless of if you win or not, if you lose in overtime, you get 1 point. But if your kills are higher in that overtime game than they are in regulation, then you get points from that overtime.
Yeah. The points don't add up from every single
Yeah.
session.
Because then you could just go to overtime a billion times and get like a billion points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna be moving on to a few topics that I have written out for us for this whole podcast to be discussing. The first one I have is what, in your opinion, has been the biggest surprise of the season? It can be like a surprise player, a surprise game, play, outcome. Like before the season, if someone had told you that something would have happened, would you just not believe them at all then?
I think the biggest example of this has to be Can CTF on the aliens, especially during the seed season.
Oh, absolutely.
You could not tell me this guy could get like 12 a game. Like he didn't go below 12 in a single game.
He was fantastic. A perfect pickup for round 3. And
You could
great
not tell
pairing
me.
with Rustlin.
Yeah, you could not tell me this guy was like gonna be like a standout player, like an underdog player.
It was everybody knows Can CTF. Everybody knows him in the community, but nobody knew how good he was going to be until Adam took a chance on him.
He was just like unproved, but like he really was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of like a joke to some people before.
Yeah, he got a
now he's
got a
just,
chance, and he balled out. I just wish that.
Yeah.
I wish, or not really. I wish. I hope that he can get to play more often, especially considering the game might
like
not
he could be like a early round 2 pick, like if Turkey,
Yeah,
doesn't
his
ban
home
Roblox,
country doesn't really like Roblox, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'll be like wasted potential because like it's banned.
All right, I'll say one of the biggest surprises to me this season, because they kind of went underlooked almost the entire season. Just the Firebirds as a whole this season, I felt like were just.
Yeah.
It was like surprising in the sense of like nobody saw it coming. They were just sneakily there in 4th or 3rd the whole time, winning games that you wouldn't have thought they would have won. That trade in the middle of the season for Sharkies, that did help them quite a bit to get their round 4 player games done. And then they got the trade for Copper before the season began, or ended, I mean. And then Copper got to do amazing things in round 1, and like. I feel like the Firebirds before the season, nobody really talked about them. Nobody really thought of them as like a powerhouse team. And they ended up as the 3 seed. And in my opinion, this has been one of Patrick's best seasons he's ever had. And especially for a Firebirds team that was really just the Bloxers of last season and the season before.
Yeah, Firebirds were just like, I don't know, like they weren't talked about enough. And their team ended up being good, especially in the tournament. Like Copper, like people doubted Copper, but he ended up being really good.
Copper got traded, and it's like something awakened inside of him, getting to play with Patrick.
He just improved.
Especially
with Patrick.
He's just that good at Volcano. I feel like he's just that good at it.
Yeah, but you see him on Pyramid as well. He had a really good Pyramid game.
He did. That was such a fun game. He had a lot of really good saves that game.
Yeah, that whole team is just like, I feel like it got overshadowed by before like when we watched Draft Day, we're like, oh my gosh, the Bloxers are crazy. But then we didn't see like the other teams, like Firebirds. We didn't know Vel, which is fair enough. We didn't know Vel was like that. But like the rest of these teams, there's still other teams that went like completely under the radar. Like, no, I didn't see anyone talking about the Aces day of draft. To be fair, I wasn't there.
I was talking
about
it. Seab made fun of
me. Well, you're always talking about
the only reason why the Aces like weren't talked about enough was because like nobody knew that Tabami actually got good. And nobody knew.
Tabami was so good this season. He played so little games last season, and he got his chance this season, and he took it and ran with it. He ran a marathon with that chance he was given, and it was so special. I think didn't he play the most games for the Aces in seed season, or was he tied with some noob?
Probably. Yeah.
He played a lot. I know he played.
Yeah, some noob only played 3. And then Fatini also played 4. So yeah, he had the most games played for the Aces, which is really good to see. Like these teams just letting these lower level players, like lower round players, Yeah, they let them play and they're flourishing. Like, you don't see that often. You usually just see like people are like teams that are top heavy. They just always go out. They get these 2 games out of the way and they're good. They go out, they go out, they go out. And then you see a team like the Aces, like in what world do you ever expect a round one to play half your games only? When there's other teams who have them playing like every game.
That's kind of something funny to mention. It's like the Aces were the only team to really like expand on who played their games, other than like maybe the Dark Hearts, because they didn't play like most of it was Crusader and Pigman rather than Jovax, but that was for other reasons usually. But the Aces just it was literally just whoever was on at the time played. It wasn't we need to wait for this person to get on. It was always just okay, just toss whoever is in there, and it just
and
worked.
it ended up getting them a second seed.
It just worked for them. Rosie and Blaze both had perfect drafts for their team. Their whole map, the synergy team, like everything just went perfectly for the both of them. Blaze, like, sure, his draft was like super simple. It was just give me the Bloxers of last season, but nobody really realized how good that Bloxers team was for the Firebirds team to play on Volcano, and even the schedule that they were given. They were given not the easiest schedule in the world for them, and they still made it to the 3rd seed because they were just sneakily always just slightly behind the Illuminas and Aces, who to me kind of stole all that spotlight and let the Firebirds do their own thing the best way that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Seab, you got any comment?
Yeah, but like for example, on Volcano, really defensive map, and Patrick and Poke are really defensive duo.
Absolutely.
And like it's just really annoying to play against. Like especially in week 3. Like our plan was to just defend the same way they did. It was really annoying.
Yeah, nobody knows how to play Volcano as good as those guys do.
Yeah.
It almost feels frustrating to say.
Yeah. Volcano is usually like most players like Bane. Like it's their nightmare to play on Volcano, kind of. It's kind of everyone's like kind of like I'm not very good with it type map.
Yeah.
But these guys have shown that like
it's just too defensive.
Yeah, it's too defensive, and it's like it's kind of big. It's large, so you have like less of a chance to get a capture.
Yeah, and it's just boring as well, to be honest. Like you only get like
them.
Yeah, well,
yeah. You only get like a couple, like not many chances compared to other maps, like houses. Because like the map is just like complicated, like way more complicated than the other maps.
It's a big curve from the rest of the maps, I'd say. Like
yeah,
I say houses is probably the easiest map to learn, and then you got like maybe
warships.
I'd say warships and then like underpass.
Air 51
and pyramid is also pretty easy to learn. I would say it was pretty easy to pick up as like a new player. But yeah, the volcano map is just it's not something many people are very good at, and they really took advantage of that this season. They very clearly.
It honestly took me a while to get good at Volcano, because after week 3, that's when I actually started getting good at Volcano. Because like I learned how to actually play it from other players playing it. Because I watched Patrick and Poke beat the Bloxers on week 1. Like I figured out how to actually play it better.
That was like the most like tutorial game I've ever seen in my entire life. Like they made it look like they were playing against like I feel mean saying this, but I feel like they made a fool out of the Bloxers in that game. Like they made it look a little too easy.
Yeah.
See, what would you say was the most surprising thing this season?
What do you say?
What would you say was the most surprising thing this season for you?
Surprising? The Pirates getting 7th seed, to be honest.
Oh,
like
dude.
I felt like they had a decent team.
Yeah, they had a great team. I think a lot of that came down to the fact that Sonic just didn't have it this season.
Sonic and Alvin, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Alvin played a lot of games. He played his heart out. Sonic, I wish Sonic had more heart.
I feel
He's
like Rob also did really good this season. Like a
Rob.
lot of
Yeah, Rob
people
was
said,
fantastic.
a lot of people said he fell off, and he was actually like really good this season.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of weird like that. If like
it's kind of a shame that he didn't get much playing time as well. He only got really 2 games where he could play in the season, and he
Was it
did
2
really good in
games?
both of them. Yeah, he only got 2 games. He only played week 2
What?
and week 7. It
I
was
th-
I think
I thought he
they
got to
took
play more than
advantage of
that. Well,
Robster being a good
he
player.
he played in game 3 to be fair. Of
Yeah,
round
but like
1.
I feel like if he got more chances in the season, I think the Pirates would have been a higher seed. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just
Because
like what the Aces did with Sabami.
yeah, I
Yeah, for
feel
sure.
like if they operated like the Aces did, I feel like they'd be maybe top half of the table potentially.
Yeah, like 5th, 4th seed around there. Same with the Scorpions though, because I felt like they were a really good, like well-built team, and their map was pretty easy to like play on. But like I don't
That's
know.
both an advantage and a disadvantage though.
Yeah,
Because that means
because the team was new as well. It's like they didn't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
They had to learn the map.
It feels
And
like
yeah.
whenever Duck has like a great draft, the team is just not able to capitalize on how good the team is. Like even last season, oh dude, if they knew what they had in Mounds in season 2, that Pirates team, like it would have been. I think they would have been the 1 seed if they gave Mounds more opportunities in season 2.
Mhm.
Miles ended up being like the best player in C season as well.
Oh yeah, this season too. Yeah, he was. Mounds had a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like such a great player, man. I gotta be honest, like he was very consistent in the games he played. I think he's second to Ruslan in like the most consistent player right now.
Dude,
He's
he just finds ways to win. He just finds
yeah.
crazy ways to win, and he comes up when it's needed. Like that's what the motto was all of seed seasons. It felt like it was like he's always there to make the clutch if you need it.
It's
Yeah,
just like
Miles just like the perfect teammate to be honest.
For sure.
yeah. I feel like if it weren't for the unfortunate upset that was experienced, you guys would have definitely gone
And like
way
and
far. You
like
guys would have. I think
he
you
was
guys would have
just
won.
like it was just inexperience, and like I felt like we did really good that game. Like we did what we said that we were gonna do, play like this certain way, and it actually worked. And we had the flag and we were about to capture, but like, it was just like a little unlucky,
It was
especially because he
Yeah,
got stuck on the ladder as well.
you can't really beat determination when it comes to that. We were both very determined to. HT and I were both very determined to beat you at least after game one. Game one was like we realized we had a chance. Even like you guys, I give full credit to you guys. You guys are really great. But after game one, we thought that we had a chance, and we took that chance and we ended up here. And I know, like we like that might be like between us. That's like it's kind of sad that we had to go against each other because we're like I feel sad going against some of my friends and then having to knock them out,
Yeah,
man. Like going
yeah,
against Crusader in wild card, man. That was kind of sad because
uh,
like he was good. He was good all season, man. And like eliminating him in the wild card, just like all that for nothing. Like I just felt horrible. Like he was also like I big respect to Crusader, by the way. He was a very good sport about the games. I'll be honest.
yeah.
Uh,
He's a really good player.
that's always like the
he's a good
worst
player.
part about having to play in tournaments is like this. It's like if when you eliminate people, you feel terrible because they're not going to like they have to wait a whole other year to get another chance.
Especially if
Hmm.
they're your friends.
Oh,
And
especially.
yeah.
It was like that.
And like
Yeah, because
when I found out I had to face Air, like I helped her like before the season started, like practice, like teach her some things. And like I didn't really expect to face her to be honest. But like, ended up happening and we lost. But it's fine though. Because I feel like
yeah,
she's did good throughout the series, and through wild card as well. But yeah.
not to toot my own horn, but I felt like I did really well in the wild card, especially. Without I feel like if I didn't have HT on my team, I feel like we would have collapsed because HT coming into the team, it was new. It was someone I really never like. I never really play. I played with him, but like
You
he
never
was
really
just
expected him
yeah.
to
I didn't
be.
expect him to be my teammate.
Yeah.
So much things happened. Like this season was so eventful. Like my team went through a lot. We had to trade our round 4 on draft day. There was a bit of problems with like the suspensions and stuff. Like bad, like yeah, stuff happened.
Yeah, same
And
with my
yeah,
team, to be
now
honest.
and we had like a team that I would have never expected to have in the tournament, and somehow we thrived through it. We thrived through everything that we had to go through.
I feel like his playstyle and your playstyle are just like really good together.
I feel like we both complement each other pretty well, but there
Yeah.
are definitely better duos up there. I'd say Vanksy and KK are probably better than us. I feel like you two were better than us. It was just like
It
I don't
came
know. It
down
was
to who's more nervous, to be honest.
yeah, and I felt like I
I
was
don't think
pretty nervous, but
I don't
it
think I was
was
nervous for like this series, to be honest.
yeah. All right. Mm, do we want to move on to like the next subject
Yeah,
here?
like the
Because
biggest standout player, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
the next subject I
For
had, yeah.
me it was probably Crusader. Like brand new player, you know?
Oh yeah,
Like
highest drafted debut player of all time at number 9
yeah,
overall.
and that too.
I feel like no, he's number 10. Oh no, he was number 9. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he was
What?
he was
No, he's number 10. He was
number
number 10.
10. He was the
Yeah.
first pick in round 2.
So I'm thinking that in number 8 and number 9 are back to back.
Yeah.
I think it's between him or Kane CTF for me because
I also
Kane
think Aer,
CTF went from literally not playing last season. He didn't play for a single team last season. He was a merc, and now he's
Yeah.
gone from that to one of the best round 3s in the league, if not the best.
yeah, probably the best round 3, to be honest. Maybe Mops as well.
Well, this season round 3 was like weirdly stacked. You had a lot of
Mhm.
fantastic people in round 3.
Yeah, like players like Tabani,
Oh, yeah.
Rob,
If there wasn't KK,
Mops,
if there wasn't
KK,
KK, I'd say he's
and
the best.
KK. Yeah, and KK as well.
Pigman was also round 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, but like he was like the last pick in round 3.
No, like he was also someone who we never really saw before. He's kind of like Crusader. He did also do good for his draft placement, I would say.
Yeah,
Like
he did. He like
did his
before
job.
this season. I'm not gonna lie. Before this season, people like doubted him a lot. Like people, people didn't really
Who
hated on
he had
him.
to
I'm not gonna
Crusader
lie.
or Can?
I'm
like-
talking about Pigman.
Oh, Pigman. I
Yeah.
was
If you-
high on Pigman actually. I thought he was gonna do great, and he did.
Yeah, but I felt like a lot of people were low about him, but he turned out to be really good.
Yeah, even
Like, really
I'm
good.
pretty sure even he wasn't expecting to get drafted that high. He thought he would be like lower round 4.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think if you go watch like game 2, that triple overtime game, I know it's like 20 minutes, but whatever. He did pretty well for where he was drafted. He stepped up as a round 3 and really cemented himself as kind of like the round 2 of the team. And
yeah.
he was playing against like people who were very clearly like they were very
Round
clearly
one.
like they were like people of round 1 caliber, and he was performing like around the same level as them, which is
Yeah.
really good from him. Like if he keeps going, I'm very happy. Like he got a capture to send it to overtime in the first place. He got the capture.
Yeah, and
It was
like
last minute too.
with like the last minute of the game, that was I was not expecting that. I thought the game was just gonna end there, honestly, when I was watching that first time.
How much I wish it did, man.
Another standout player to me is probably Aer. Like she's just a really good attacker, and like yeah, probably like one of the best attackers. Probably
She's
the
got
best
like
one right now.
momentum when it's on her side. It doesn't leave her side. It's like as soon as she
Yeah.
gets like a streak of like 3, the game just kind of
Especially-
the game's just
yeah,
kind of
and the
already
bo-
over.
Yeah, and the boxers game, like she went on a 2 streak and like she got like 4 more kills and she got a last second capture.
Yeah, that happened in wildcard game 3 as well. It's like she got
And
one flag and like just kept going from there. Like it did not take the pedal off the gas at all.
Yeah, and against like Vinci and Keiki, like that's really impressive to do.
Yeah,
Especially in
it kind of
semis.
doesn't matter how good the player is against them, honestly.
I'm flattered, guy. Yeah, I don't really see myself as like a standout. I was drafted pretty low and I did pretty well. I guess I did stand out. Like I became the round 1 of my team basically after kind of like the off period in the between the seed season and the tournament. But I feel like there are people more deserving of me. Like I think Crusader is definitely more deserving of me than that at that title, or can CTF. Like I don't think I might, this might just be like me just like not thinking about myself too much, but I think those two are definitely like, I feel like they're more standout than I am. I feel, especially Crusader.
Granted, they were given
Yeah,
they were given a little more opportunity during the seed season than you were.
Yeah, Crusader was just like really good.
Yeah, but you've gotten to play what?
10 games or 11 games so far.
Well, and you've done what, like 7 in a row?
Yeah, I've played every single game for the. It's actually, what is it, 3, and then
the one so
and
far
2.
And you played weeks.
So,
7
I played
and
9 in a row.
Yep, you played weeks 7 and 8 as well, or not 7 and 8, 8 and 9.
No, 8 and 9. Yeah.
Another player
definitely
Mounts because like he was like kind of unknown, and like me and him like in the off season and like March to May.
Yeah.
Like we just grinded CTF.
I won't lie. I was part of that club of people that had my doubts on Mounds. I thought he was drafted a little too early. I'm not gonna lie. And then he turned out that I felt like he was drafted too late. I feel like he could have been that first pick for the Dark Hearts or the second pick. I feel like he could have been
probably the Aces.
Yeah, he could have been drafted in round 1 even, I feel like. Like he ended up on the perfect spot for him, I felt like.
Yeah.
Now, one of the standout players I wanted to highlight was like I said, the biggest surprise was the Firebirds. I wanted to talk about Vel for a second because I almost didn't even realize he was a new player. When I watched him play his first few games, it looked like he'd been playing the game forever, just as long as Patrick and Poke. He looked like he knew everything about the game. Like he didn't miss a day. Oh, Aer's AirPod is gone. I'm just gonna give it a second.
Yeah, but like especially in that week 3 or week 4 when they faced the Dark Hearts. I think
it was week. Yeah, I think it was week 4.
And the game week 5 underpass. Like he was just like really decent, really good. Like he actually
Speaking of underpass, there's another player that I feel like went under the radar that played in that game. Hugo was also a very good player. Yeah.
I feel like
he was round 4 and he had 1 off game. That's it.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Hugo wasn't very underlooked. I felt like he was a popular. I felt like he was popular. I felt like everybody was excited for every game Hugo was in. I remember watching.
I remember he was really hyped.
I remember finishing watching that week 4 game that I had against him, and right afterwards, everybody was in the server talking about Hugo. How first off, his avatar looks hilarious, and how crazy of a save he had, how crazy of a first game he had. He's just kind of like Vel. He looked like he had never missed a day playing the game, like he was playing it for years.
Yeah, but if you were to tell me before, like in the draft, if you saw Hugo, you wouldn't go like, oh, that's the guy who I want to see play. It's like that he definitely exceeded the expectations for sure. Because like I didn't know who Hugo was before the draft. I didn't know. Well, to be fair, I didn't know like half the round 4s before I
yeah, you know me too. I spelt his name wrong on the stats sheet. I didn't know him that much.
And his game sense was really good as well.
Dude, he was so good at sword fighting.
He's just, I feel like he still is underlooked because he's great. I think he could move up to round 3 if there's a
Probably
season
even
4.
round 2, to be honest.
No,
Eh,
I love watching him play with Tivami and Fatini. Those games that he played were so entertaining to me.
man, the Aces just have like a vibe or something, bro.
They were just a fun team this season.
A lot of captures from them, especially in the playoffs against the Pirates. They had a lot of captures, and it was very entertaining to see.
Yeah, Fatini had like a lot, like maybe like
Unfortunate
2 or
that the
3.
Aces had to play a mercenary in game 2. I was wondering
Yeah.
because I feel like they had a genuine chance to sweep the Pirates if Tabami played that game.
Yeah, if Tsubami played, definitely.
Yeah, Tsubami's a good player on Worships, especially.
Some Noob is a very good player, but I feel like what am I saying? Yeah, Some Noob is a very good player. Let's not get that wrong. But we knew that was gonna happen because like Some Noob's kind of always been kind of good. Like season 1, she didn't get much chance. Season 2, she really stepped up. She won like a bajillion awards last season, and then
Yeah.
this season
Yeah.
she's staying up to those, keeping up with that, and very clearly she had statistically the best playoff performance so far in game 3 against Pirates with 20 points, which is
Dude,
very
Honestly,
very good.
like this season, I definitely expected her to be like a top 10 player, and yeah, she definitely was, to be honest.
dude, I felt like it's so satisfying seeing the rise of players like her. They go from season 1 picked in round 4, and then like we don't know, let's pick him up in round 3, and then we're like, I want this person on my team. I'm getting them as early as I can. That was the gamble Rosie took. That was the gamble. She took that gamble last season too, and then ended up having to trade some noob to the Illuminas, which turned out just fine for both teams. It felt like.
Yeah, because the Aces went to finals anyway, and Some Noob seemed to be a standout for the Illuminas anyway.
Absolutely, and that translated perfectly into this season. And the Aces was an amazing home for some noob, but even the rest of that Aces team. Like, I feel like we could just talk about the Aces forever, dude.
Yeah, they're they're very very very. I can go in depth about them. They're just overall probably, I would say they might not be the best team, but they're up there for like,
Yeah,
if
definitely.
I would
top
watch Aces games if I had the
Yeah.
chance. Like if I had to choose any game, I would watch Aces games.
Did we all get our biggest standout player in there? I know Seab had like 20 of them.
Huh? I have.
I know. I said.
I
I know
think we
Seab had like 20.
I think we got them.
All right,
pretty
and
sure.
we can go to the question. I feel like is
Favorite game?
not the easiest to answer for you guys, but the favorite game that you've played in. It doesn't have to just.
Alright,
Well, I
so
mean,
for
for Air,
me,
it would have to be this season, but it doesn't have to be just this season. By the way.
ooh, I probably got like, probably like four favorite games.
I got 2.
Even though I lost in like 2 of them, I got Seed Season Week 6 and Season 2 versus Dark Hearts, because like I felt like that's when like I showed people that I'm actually good at the
Oh,
game,
that was the sword fight
because I
one,
was
wasn't it?
new. Yeah, and I had like 30 kills against Rustling out of all people.
Yeah,
And my second
that was like your showing out game.
my second favorite game was probably Pirates in game 3. I know I lost, but like it was actually like really good, especially from someone.
Very intense.
Yeah, and the last I could capture too, yeah. And like my third game, it's probably like week 6 versus Aces, because like it was really close, and like I faced my former teammates in that game on my home map. Like
Oh
yeah, it
yeah,
was like
from
really close.
that was it was yeah, some noob and Tavama you faced. It was
Yeah.
basically the entirety of the Illuminus from last season was in that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Luck,
Yeah.
It
me,
was
to bomb me something. Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. I don't even think I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And my
that was a great game.
last favorite game, probably the one this season, game 3. Like it was just like super close, to be honest.
I could go on
stakes.
I could go on for days about that game, man. That's if I had to choose one, I think it would be the one I'm most proud of. I would say it would be because like that's something that you don't see much. I know the one seed usually get like the one seed has been upset more times than it's been
It's
through
such
round
a
one.
weird stat.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's not every day you're gonna see that, especially from like the difference is literally eight seeds, and I feel like just in that moment I was so happy. I think that was probably the most like joy I felt from playing the game. But speaking of joy, I think week 2, my debut, I think I had probably like I just felt great playing the game. But like playing against Russlin my first game, it wasn't an easy task. Seab had to go through it too. But but it's not an easy task, and to get the winning capture and beat Russlin in your first game, that's like that it just feels it's like
so
it's kind of
satisfying.
like, yeah, it feels good, and like you kind of like prove yourself in the first game you play.
Yeah, just put you in like the right direction for the rest of the season. Like you won against the defending champions in like your first game you ever played.
The best player in the game.
I will still remember that game to this day. Like it's one of the games I remember most from season 3. I remember it primarily because I remember the first I remember you commenting, "Oh my gosh, it's 1 minute in the game and I don't have any kills." And I was like, that's hilarious because like that's never something that I really think about whenever I'm playing a CTF game.
Oh, I'm too like critical on myself sometimes, especially when I'm playing.
Yeah,
I always
when I play
like
when I play a league game, I'm concerned about if I'm losing or not if I have kills.
I don't know. It's just like I feel like it adds to like
it's just like in the back of your mind. It's just like, oh gosh, I feel embarrassed. Well, like I completely understand why that's like your one of your favorite games to play too.
Yeah, I have two other. I probably like 3 other ones. I honestly liked playing all of my games except maybe 8 and 9. I'd say week 5 is also a good one because that's like what really I was fooling around for the 30 minutes before the game. I had 9 million points.
Yeah,
I was just sitting with 9 million points.
we found a bug where you could get infinite points in CTF.
Yeah. And then I had to play. I didn't eat anything for like a whole day before this game, and like we just went over there and we beat the Scorpions. We beat Chitra and Ronnie, which is like that's kind of like that on their map as well. I know I've been pretty good at Pyramid. Like I myself am pretty confident on that map, but like I was not expecting to put like it was the second best performance of the week.
Hey, you put the team on your back in that game.
And then wildcard, obviously, I feel like that's where I excelled. At game 2 and 3, especially, I had 19 points in both. I feel like just from an overall like skill level, I feel like those are probably my 2 favorite from that point of view. Especially game 3. Game 3, it wasn't as like intense as game 2, but it just felt more. It felt better to play than game 2. Game 2 was excruciating to play. Do not go into triple overtime, bro. I swear. Most boring thing ever. I did not want to play for a whole week after that. But anyway.
That's what I felt when I faced Russell.
Going to the
week 6 last season.
I don't know. I felt like in week 4 this season, I felt like going to sword fight was just fun for me. I just felt like I was dicking around the whole time, and then I got into sword fight and like I lost, but I was like, damn, I had a great time. So and my teammate Ben, he had a great time too. He had some great kills there. He didn't have the best like regulation. So when we went into overtime, he got a bunch of kills. He got some great plays, and it satisfied. When my team is satisfied, that's when I'm satisfied. Is what I feel. Dude. That's why I liked week. That's why I like week 2 as well.
So like, what like your favorite all-time game though? What would it be?
My
Like, would
favorite
it be from this
game
season?
that I have ever played in is it's special to me because it won an award. Okay, and League Season 1, semifinals, Game 3 versus the Illuminas.
I know what she's
Oh, yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I'm with Spidey, and we beat them 3-1 on Area 51, the original Area 51, the better version. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Probably not the better
The easier version.
but it's the version that I enjoy the most.
Easier version.
And I shot Bethany through the ground and saved the flag, and I freaked out. I still have that video on my computer, and I watch it every so often, and I still look at it, and I'm like, Jesus, this was like I that's when I felt like I was like I'm gonna go full ego. I felt like I was the best in the game when I played that game. I felt like after winning that, I felt like I was untouchable. And then I went into finals and won the first game with the mercenary again, and it was the same feeling. But I feel like I don't think I've ever felt as happy playing this game as I did in that semis game 3. And it wasn't even like I won the whole thing, because I still had a whole other series stuff to play. It was just like that felt like the most complete game of CTF I've ever played in my life. Like there was so much perfect communication with my teammate. I felt like I did everything right in that game. It wasn't even like I balled out and got a billion kills. It was just a really emphatic win. And yeah, I could also go into like random like classic season games, but I feel like a grandma if I do that.
Yeah, we get so.
Shut up.
But I guess if I had to just say any other game, I would probably say, I liked week 2 with Nox when I played on Volcano against the Firebirds. We went to overtime. That was like, because
Who did the Firebirds play?
It was Jovax and Trexo against Nox and I on Volcano in League Season 1, Week 2. I had just gotten swept the week before because I was playing with B. And it felt like redemption because in Classic Season 7, HT and I lost to War in round 1. And then I got to play on Volcano again with Nox this time, and it just felt like redemption. It felt like I had redeemed that season, and it was just a nice feeling. But
yeah,
those are like my favorite games that I've played, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't there, to watch them because,
I know, and I keep
I'm
trying to get these two to go and watch at least League Season 1. You don't got to go back and watch the classic seasons.
Bro,
I've tried to show you guys the
watched-
classic seasons, and you just roast them the whole time.
Bro, I
Yeah,
watched them on my own time before.
No, you don't, bro. Trust me.
I've watched them, bro. Relax.
Nobody does
Who
this
won
in
season?
their
Who won season 4 then?
Fake season.
Not this far back, bro.
Oh, okay.
Who won season 4? I predicted me. I'm winning the season 4.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to our last topic for the day then?
Yeah.
All right. This one I just kind of wrote down. I wrote shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it's just something that could have happened or would have happened or should have happened to change up the season entirely. And I think most of us would talk about the draft right away. And
We'll also go first.
I'll try to think of something a little more unique here. I'd say I'll bring it back to week 1 for my team specifically. In week 1, it was we were against the Pirates on Castles, and we ended up having to both use a mercenary, which in the end I feel like it hurt both of us a lot more than it helped us, because the original plan was that we were gonna play not our best duos. It was gonna be Alvin and Fusion against me and Ben on Castles in week 1.
Oh my.
And we would have gotten those games done, but since we had to play with mercenaries, we were forced to have to wait until a different game. And the
Ben.
whole thing was Ben didn't wake up on time, and I think
Oh.
Fusion forgot the game was happening that day, and it was just
Oh, and I
Alvin.
was
Yeah, Aer was there, but her computer wouldn't turn on.
because bro, the dumbest thing happened. I was playing before, like a few days before, and then I go like try and turn on the computer in the morning. My dad's sleeping, and it just wouldn't turn on. So I found out what it was. It was the circuit breaker, bro. Circuit breaker sold, and like basically sold the whole season.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that a lot could have been different for not only our team but also the Pirates if we
Pirates,
had
yeah.
gotten those games done for our other players there. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ended up working a little bit in the favor of the Pirates, I guess, because they just didn't go to wild card and we did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have liked
Well,
to
they
have
were very
gotten.
close to it.
I would have liked to have gotten to play a game with Ben on Castles, even though we did win that game. I feel like we could have gotten it done with Ben. I feel like I could have gotten it done with Ben.
All right, I'm gonna go next. So, my opinion, I feel like when it's like during round one or like before round one, like Miles was just like procrastinating, like he didn't want to practice, and like
Right.
it was just kind of like a little bit stressful because
It didn't put him in
we
the mood
barely
for the
prac-
game.
we barely practiced like maybe 30 minutes. We usually practice for like 2 hours,
Well,
and like
the way it works for me is if you over practice, that just puts yourself in the position to where you get too accustomed to one play style, and you can't always use that play style when you play like an official game. So what always happened with me in like earlier seasons was I would get on, have a few warm up matches with my teammate, and then we would just discuss a plan before the game and then hop in.
mm,
It
I
like
mean that's
it leaves the nerves there present still, but those nerves keep you more aware sometimes.
that's kind of what I did when I didn't play with mounts, like with luck and mops.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh
And I think I should have been like, a little bit more dominant. Cause yeah, I was drafted round one. But like at the same time, like, Mounts got in a lot of trouble. And like,
we don't need to talk about that.
yeah,
We don't
my
need to
bad.
talk
But
about
like,
that.
you know what I mean though.
Uh,
Yeah,
Wait, it turned out fine for you guys. You got the one seed.
yeah. But
uh,
he ended up getting
I'd
suspended, so
yeah, I'd say mine. And it's gonna come to a bit of a shocker. We talked about Jovax earlier. I feel like with the internet problems like gone, I feel like that team could have been top three.
Oh,
Even
that's like the biggest shoulda, woulda, coulda. Honestly, I always forget about that.
yeah, Jovax was like he's a very great player, but he just got slowed down by his internet. And
Yeah,
if
Jovax
he
helped them
wasn't
get
slowed
their
down by his
first
internet,
win.
exactly, they were gonna have like the big three of Crusader, Pigment, and Jovax, but it just didn't pan out, and it was so unfortunate. I kind
Yeah.
of wish that team did better
I
because
honestly
it looks
think,
so good on paper.
yeah, if they got Gornaz earlier, like if they replace like no offense to Jovax, but if they replaced Jovax earlier because of his lag issues,
Yeah, they could
or
have
like
gotten
somebody else on the
Gornez by like
team,
week 7 or something, and it would have
yeah, I feel like they
gotten.
would have been way much better because they would have built their chemistry early on.
Yeah, all power to Storm. He was in a position where he couldn't really pick like the most amazing team. He just kind of had to go with whatever he felt like was right to him in like the later rounds, especially. Like he made the right choices for his first and second picks. He picked Crusader and Jovax, and like on paper, those were the two best options at that moment. Other than like maybe Mounds, but we didn't know about that. Like on paper, Jovax and Crusader was the safest and most obvious
Yeah,
options at that point. It was just so unsure about what was going to go on with Jovax, and it just didn't go the way that they wanted it to.
Yeah, so fortunate.
yeah. I feel like again that team would have gone very far if it weren't for that unfortunate. They just like that team could have genuinely gone to semis instead of like I feel like they could have gone to semis.
100%. Jovax
Like-
is fantastic at houses. I don't think people give him enough credit
he's
for
proven
that.
He's very much proven that. He's won a championship with the franchise. He's like kind of like a legend to these guys. Even though he might have been like the second to Ruslan, he was still outperforming Ruslan in some of the games.
Absolutely.
But, like,
Yeah. I every time Jovax had a fantastic game, I was sitting in the back. I would just sit back and I would just smile because I've always had so much faith in Jovax to know that he could finally get somewhere. I've rooted forever for him to win a title, and then he did, and it was just so. It was nice seeing him relaxed the season after. He was just like, whatever, I'll play, just for fun, and like that was just such a. It was just a good moment for him, and I wish that he got more chances to play again. Hopefully, this doesn't mean that he doesn't want to play again. Hopefully it doesn't demotivate him. Hopefully he can get internet issues solved and he can come back. But I want to see Jovax at full capacity again because I know he's so good at the game and he's so underrated.
Yeah, he nobody really paid attention to him, to be honest.
Yeah, it's because I feel like he won a title and then I guess he laid back. I guess that's kind of how it felt.
And he doesn't play the game much anymore.
Well, I mean, if you win your championship, then I'd say you don't really have a reason to anymore.
You have all the right to. Yeah, you have all the right to
sit back and relax.
Yeah.
All power to him.
Yeah,
I just wish that he had a better. I wish he had a better season, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. He's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Uh,
Dude, I want to get more people on here. I want to do interviews and stuff.
That's true. I feel like we should. I feel like the next person we need to do is with like someone who's playing in finals, like
someone who's played in finals.
We don't know the teams yet.
I want I want someone that's like. I want someone that's been playing CTF for a long time. Like I want to get like Chitra Patrick in here or something.
Oh yeah, I think I would. I want like I would love like a veteran in here. See like I think Patrick. I feel like I would love to see Patrick on here. I want to see some people that I haven't seen in a while. Like I would kind of be interested in seeing Amal's episode. Like maybe
you could try to get him in here. You could try maybe we can get Fatini to voice reveal.
He's never gonna do that, bro.
Nah, just put like a text to speech. Put a text to speech over it.
Yeah, put the things all CTF voice over it.
We gotta get Banksy to be on here, bro.
Yeah, that would be wild.
He's probably gonna be typing a chat the entire thing.
Yeah, I gotta edit it all in. Put like an extra 2 hours.
He's gonna turn the camera on and do sign language.
He's just gonna mouth everything. He's gonna be like, read my lips. Alright. Well, it's been an hour and 3 minutes.
Darn.
Dang.
NPC said darn.
Nice.
I think that this caps off the episode for us then.
Yeah, shout out John Klingberg.
Nice.
John Klingberg?
Nice.
Yes. Alright, guys, in the description we'll have a link to more alt channels so you guys can go watch CTF games, full games over there. You can go support everything there. You can also play Flag Attack in the description. Thanks for watching.
Attack.
Hopefully we'll have another episode coming up soon. Whenever we can. Yeah.